Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Ask the YAs. This is Mental Health Awareness Week, and so this episode features the special theme on kindness. Our young ambassadors are going to be answering questions about what Mental Health Awareness Week means to them, why it's important, and about special little acts of kindness.
To me, Mental Health Awareness Week means like a very key week in the year, especially in like education, like schools, and also in the media. And it's just a week where it's definitely in the forefront of most people's mind across the country, whereas it's not normally. So it's definitely a very important week, and it's probably one of my favourite weeks of the year as well, because we hear a lot of stories from people that we don't otherwise hear.
Mental Health Awareness Week for me means progress. In the last decade alone, we've come so far in our understanding of mental health issues, and so many people have come forward from so many different areas of life. Celebrities, members of the royal family, members of the military. Male mental health has become such a huge focus recently as well, and it's just such a good reminder that we have come so far in our understanding and acceptance of this area of our well-being.
For me, it's more of a week where you can focus your efforts on raising awareness and just making it seem more accepted publicly, generally. Make everyone realize that they're not alone and it's normal to talk about and it's okay to talk about, and it's just about giving it presence in the media, among other things as well.
So for me, Mental Health Awareness Week is the perfect opportunity to raise awareness in our local communities about the stigma that normally surrounds mental health and to try and break this down. You know, a lot of people find it quite difficult to speak about mental health in general. It's not touched upon as much as it should, and this week offers the perfect opportunity to facilitate dialogue and just encourage conversation and just have those difficult conversations which we need to do. And what better way to do this through random acts of kindness, which is the theme for this year.
It's important because although things have gotten better, there's still stigma, it's still stigmatized, it's still something that you need to fight for acceptance for. The problem hasn't just gone away, it is something that you have to constantly bring attention to, and something that's relevant and important, and it has to be commemorated.
This week is so important in continuing to spread that awareness to the general community and allowing people to speak up about the things that they're going through, especially at the moment. There's been such a focus on physical health that allowing this platform for people to share about their mental struggles as well is so important.
So I think it's important because it reminds people of the significance that mental health does have on our life, because it is such a big part of who we are. Like, we all have mental health, so that's definitely why it's important. And like I said previously, like in the education side, it's definitely a time where kids learn a lot more in schools about it than they would probably in the rest of their curriculum. And it also brings together like charities and organisations, and it brings them to the front, and lets them get seen a bit more than maybe they don't, and get the recognition that they definitely do deserve, and kind of helps them maybe gain some of the support that they need for the rest of the year to continue helping people with their mental health.
Personally, I believe kindness is about consideration. It's all about being conscious of other people's needs and wants, and if you're aware of that and you can change things to make things more comfortable for other people, that's kindness.
So kindness to me means basically like showing love, understanding, and support. And that can be through like actions, words, or even just moments in time. Like, it could literally just be you spending time with someone, and for someone that could be like the kindest thing that you could do. And I also feel like it's just a basic human need. So whether that's giving kindness to other people, because like we all kind of need that like care, support, love, and recognition, and also just to yourself, because you have to show kindness to yourself.
So for me, kindness is just being really selfless. You know, the idea that any small random act of kindness, any random gesture that you can do for another person, you know, whether that be just listening to them speak, you know, being compassionate, being generous, just being friendly in general, you know, smiling at them when you see them on the street can really have a positive impact in someone's lives in a manner that you might not have even comprehended in the first place. So it's just about being friendly, just being like a nice person and stuff is really what kindness is to me.
When it comes to kindness, I think there's a very thin line between doing something because it makes you feel good and doing something to help other people. When it comes to mental health, I think ultimately sometimes it's okay to put yourself first, because you can't provide for someone else in a consistent manner, or in any manner really, without first having a basis of yourself that you can then rely on. So in terms of kindness, I think random acts of kindness are so easy to do, and they're not draining to yourself, allowing someone to talk to you if they need it, but not always putting them before your own personal needs. So kindness is about having that balance between your own mental well-being and being there for others. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a huge act or sacrifice. It can be as simple as holding a door open for someone, especially at the moment, holding that door open for someone or gate open, staying 2 meters away and allowing that person to walk through. You don't know whether they could have touched that and then received the virus, for example. So that act of kindness could actually be as life-saving as sacrificing yourself at a huge grand gesture.
So one random act of kindness that I saw in the news yesterday and I thought was really special was about this young couple in Sri Lanka. So they had originally planned to have, you know, once lockdown was lifted, a really beautiful wedding and just a big grand celebration with all of their friends and family. But instead they just had a very small ceremony, and then they took the money that they were going to spend on the wedding and donated it to people who were really affected by COVID in certain areas of the country. So they bought loads of food, loads of clothes and toys for like children, and they went out into the streets and just donated it. So I thought that was really special.
I think lockdown in particular has given us a brand new perspective on kindness within neighbourhood situations. So when we had VE Day a few weeks ago, we did a virtually distanced driveway tea party on my street in my village, and the local guy who is a DJ and did a lot of work when I was younger in children's birthday parties and school discos and all that sort of thing, such a huge part of the community for so many years, actually did a virtual disco driving around the village, and he took about 4 or 5 hours out of his day to do that, and it's completely voluntary, and I think that really just cheered everyone up and brought everyone together as a family.
So probably the act of kindness that really sticks to mind, and I'm sure it does to a lot of people, is just people clapping for the NHS on Thursdays at 8 p.m. And I think not only because it's showing how much we do appreciate and care about and love all the hard work that the NHS are doing at the moment, it just also the fact about how it's brought communities together. Like, we stand and talk to our neighbours from our front doors and talk to people that we've never talked to before, which I think is honestly just such a good thing, and probably one of the best things to have come out of this is that we're gaining that sense of community back that we seem to have lost over the years, especially as a digital age has come in. And just talking like basically to complete strangers, sometimes the kindest thing that you can do, because some of those may not have been seeing people at all, and it's that one time of the week where they get that human contact, and you're just listening to them, which is just so important, I think.
Acts of kindness that have happened to me recently range from as big as allowing me to stay here during lockdown to remembering something I like. It doesn't matter if it's big or small, if it's something that somebody is doing for you without needing to do it for themselves or getting a reason out of it, that's kindness.
As I mentioned previously, I don't think kindness has to be a huge sacrifice to yourself. It doesn't have to be a huge chunk out of your day. It should come naturally. Human beings are meant to be kind to each other. We're meant to support each other. And I think in terms of situations at the moment, even if it's just when you're going out for the NHS cap just to wave over to your neighbours and say, oh, how are you doing? How was your day today? That is all someone needs, to just know that you are there as a community and that you are there to support them.
So especially showing kindness to those who are struggling with their mental health, I think just listening to them and asking them maybe what they would like and then respecting those wishes, because sometimes just having someone listen to what they want to say without having a conversation about it, just sat there listening, can be the kindest thing to do, because a lot of people's instinct is just to talk, and that may not be what they need or what they want. And just like respecting their wishes is just really kind. So maybe they want someone just to sit there and watch a film with them, for example, just to feel someone close but not be actually interacting, or just something like that. Just listening to them can be the kindest thing that they need, and asking them what they want in particular, because it's quite easy to assume, but obviously everyone is different and we all want and need different things. So just asking and then finding out, and then going on that from your listening that you've done, can just be the kindest thing, and it will go a very long way and they will really, really appreciate it.
I think the number one act of kindness you can do for someone struggling with mental health is to listen. Just to listen. If someone feels like someone else is paying attention to them, they're going to feel a lot less alone, and that's something really nice that you can do for somebody.
So I think the easiest way that you can support someone and just be kind to someone who is struggling with their mental health is just by listening to them in the first place. A lot of the times we might not fully understand what they are going through, and that's okay, but just being compassionate and just being nice to them in the first place is something that can have a very positive impact in their lives. So just being generous and just being nice to them, can really help.
Be sure to join us next Thursday for episode 5, where the Young Ambassadors will be back answering all the questions that you send in on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag AskTheYAs.